Before we begin, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because stories like this don't come often. This is not just a rock history recap. This is a human story of love, ego, heartbreak, forgiveness, and time. At 75, Lindsey Buckingham is no longer running from the past. He is finally speaking about the one story that shaped his life more than fame ever did. A story written in chords and confessions. A story tied forever to Stevie Nicks. What follows is not gossip. It is memory, reflection, and truth. For decades, Lindsey Buckingham avoided telling this story in full. Not because he didn't remember, but because remembering hurt. Fame allowed him to hide behind music, behind production credits, behind control. But time has a way of stripping defenses away. At 75, there is no need to prove anything, only a need to understand. What he now admits is not clean or simple. It is emotional, complicated, and deeply human. The world saw legends. He lived the consequences. Lindsey often says the beginning felt almost accidental. He was just 16, quiet, serious, and already obsessed with the guitar. Stevie Nicks was older, confident, and newly transferred to Menlo Atherton High School. They barely spoke. They barely noticed each other. Just two teenagers sharing air at school events. No romance. No destiny in sight. Yet even then, something subtle was forming. Fate was patient. It didn't rush them. It waited. Their real connection came years later through music, not romance. Lindsey joined a psychedelic rock band called Fritz in the late 1960s. When the band needed a singer, someone suggested Stevie. She walked into rehearsal, sang, and everything shifted. The chemistry was undeniable, not physical yet, something deeper, something creative. Fritz opened for legends like Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix. They were young, ambitious, and standing on borrowed stages. Still, Lindsey and Stevie stayed emotionally cautious, drawn together but afraid to fall. When Fritz fell apart in the early 1970s, reality hit hard. No band, no plan, no safety net, just two people staring at each other across the wreckage. That's when the unspoken decision was made. They moved to Los Angeles in 1972. They became Buckingham Nicks, musically and romantically. Love grew between long nights, cheap apartments, and fragile dreams. They believed talent would be enough. They were wrong, but belief kept them alive. Reality tested them immediately. Lindsey refused to play cover gigs. He wanted originality or nothing. Stevie took waitress jobs, cleaning jobs, anything to keep them afloat. By 1973, their album flopped. Money disappeared. Arguments replaced hope. But strangely, their music grew stronger. Pain sharpened their creativity. Even as cracks formed, they clung to the belief that something bigger was coming. They just didn't know how close it was. In late 1974, their lives changed inside Sound City Studios. Mick Fleetwood happened to be there. An engineer played a track from Buckingham Nicks. Mick froze. Lindsey's guitar hit him like lightning, not flashy, emotional, controlled. Fleetwood Mac had just lost Bob Welch. They needed a new direction. Mick found it in that solo. When he asked Lindsey to join, Lindsey gave one condition. "If you take me, you take my girlfriend." That sentence rewrote rock history. Stevie was Mick's first choice. He wanted the guitarist, but Christine McVie saw the truth immediately. Stevie completed the sound. By New Year's Eve 1974, they were officially in Fleetwood Mac. In 1975, the self-titled album exploded. #1, global success. Rhiannon, Monday Morning. Electricity everywhere. On-stage magic, off-stage tension. Fame magnified everything, especially the cracks already there. By 1976, the dream turned toxic. Every relationship in the band was collapsing. Divorces, affairs, resentment. Lindsey and Stevie reached the end of their romance. They barely spoke. Fights were constant. Exhaustion ruled everything. Yet they had to record another album together. No space. No healing. Just 5 broken people trapped in a studio, writing songs about wounds that were still bleeding. What happened next was legendary. Stevie wrote Dreams, soft, resigned, devastating. Lindsey answered with Go Your Own Way, sharp, angry, exposed. Christine wrote You Make Loving Fun. Every song was a message, an accusation, a goodbye. They stood feet apart, pretending not to break. The pain didn't weaken the album. It fueled it. Rumours became one of the best-selling albums ever because it was honest. Success did heal anything. After Rumours, nothing healed. It hardened. Tour continued. Albums followed. But Lindsey and Stevie stayed trapped between longing and resentment. Not lovers, not strangers, something worse, something unfinished. Too much history, too many songs. During Tusk, the clash became artistic. Lindsey pushed experimental chaos. Stevie wanted emotional melody. Their visions no longer aligned. The personal and musical conflict became inseparable. The explosion. By 1987, it all broke. During preparations for Tango in the Night, Lindsey quit. A violent argument erupted. Years of bitterness spilled out in seconds. Stevie stayed. Lindsey walked away. For the first time, they were truly apart. But separation didn't erase the connection. It just buried it deeper. Silence replaced fighting. Distance replaced intimacy. Reunions without resolution. The years that followed were strange. Solo careers, addiction battles, controlled isolation, and then reunions. The Dance in 1997. Say You Will in 2003. Each time they shared a stage, the old electricity returned, especially during Silver Springs. Stevie singing straight at Lindsey. No acting, no nostalgia, just truth. Millions watched, because unresolved love is powerful. The final break in 2018. By 2018, the balance shattered. A disagreement over touring schedules turned into the final fracture. Stevie felt disrespected. Lindsey felt discarded. The band chose peace over history. Lindsey was fired after 43 years. Lawsuits followed. Settlements closed the chapter legally, but emotionally, nothing closed. Something ancient finally snapped. The heart attack. In 2019, Lindsey nearly died. A heart attack, emergency surgery. Vocal cord damage, silence where music once lived. His marriage ended, everything collapsed at once. For the first time, he had no band, no voice, no control, only reflection. Stevie reached out briefly. Polite, kind, distant, he replied. Sometimes she didn't. He said later, forgiveness is necessary, but sadness remained. Living with ghosts. By his early 70s, Lindsey lived surrounded by memories. Songs that refused to age. Love that refused to die. He spoke less with anger and more with acceptance. Not regret, understanding. He admitted that some wounds don't heal. They become part of who you are, and maybe that's enough. Then 2025 changed everything. In July 2025, something unexpected happened. Stevie posted a handwritten lyric. Lindsey posted the matching line hours later from Frozen Love, the song that started everything. Fans exploded. Mick Fleetwood joined in. The message was clear. Something had softened, not erased, softened. Soon after, it was confirmed. A remastered Buckingham Nicks album would be released in September 2025, shared by both of them. No interviews together, no promises, just quiet agreement. After 50 years of conflict, cooperation spoke louder than words. In recent interviews, Lindsey finally admitted the truth. Time humbled him. Losing Fleetwood Mac hurt more than he expected. Surviving death changed him. "What Stevie and I created will outlive us," he said. "It was painful, beautiful, destructive, transformative, and I'm grateful." No bitterness, just honesty. He didn't promise a reunion. He didn't claim friendship. But he admitted hope. Not for the past, for peace. Their story may never have a fairy tale ending. But maybe it has something better, understanding, and music that still speaks. Do you think the 2025 remaster hints at something more? Or is this simply closure at last? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us for stories that matter.